Hi everybody, and welcome back to Nellie and Ruth Designs. Well, the yo-yo journal is back on. I received Liz's journal a little while ago, and I didn't want to do a flip through or start working in it until she received mine. Mine was held up in customs, and she just received my journal that I've been working in. And this is Liz's. So I want to do a quick flip through, and then I'm going to start working. I have a whole bunch of ephemera here to the right of me, and I have an idea, and I've picked out a page. So I just thought we would start with that. But let me show you so far what Liz has done in her journal. She's completed the inside, and she has these cute little tags in here, these little ephemera pieces. Look at that. These are adorable. I haven't taken an up close and personal look at this since I've gotten it. I just kind of set it aside. I wanted to share it with you. So I'm also seeing some of these for the first time. This is adorable. Nice job, Liz. That's a nice idea. I have an awful lot of vintage yearbook photos, and that would be a great way to use them. And then she added a doily here and a pocket. This is a cute little bit of ephemera tucked into here. And then she moved over to this side here. There is a cute little pocket that she made. I think she created this on one of her videos. I think I saw that. These are really cute little journaling cards. And it tucks in there. And then she has this with where she can hold her ephemera. I'm not sure if she put these in here for me to use on her pages or not, but I'm going to leave them right in there because, again, I don't know her intent, and I don't want to use something that she doesn't, she hadn't planned on me using. But here's a couple little cute little stickers. I think these are from Your Creative Studio. I have some of those as well. These are cute. This little vintage label here. And then she completed this page right here. There's a little tag spot, a little pocket with a tag. This looks like some material. Maybe she had just cut something out of a doily or something there. But that's very pretty. Just look to see if there's any little tuck spots. These two pages were created by me when I first started. These are mine as well. That is mine. These two pages I think are absolutely adorable, with the pups in here at needlepoint. This is really cute. When Mommy does her tapestry, I sit and wait for hours. I like to watch her stitching scenes of birds and bees and flowers. But sometimes she goes overboard. It nearly drives me bats. Her latest tour de force involves a pair of stuck-up cats. I hurried to the sewing shop to take my counterclaim. I bought some dog-sized needles, wools, a canvas, and a frame. Now Mommy sits and watches me, amazed at my design. My work reveals a famous dog, an ancestor of mine. Isn't that cute? I don't know where she found that, but that is adorable. And she added the background pages here. It looks like she did some scribbling to make it look like stitching, which is a great idea. This is the page I want to work on because I have some ephemera that will go really nice. I believe she did a YouTube video on this as well. This is very pretty. This is a die cut, and then she just added the little vintage paper and some die cuts. There's some lace and material. This is a page I originally did. This here she added, make your life a true work of art. Living with artists is the key to happiness. And there's some cute little journaling ephemera pieces in here. These are very pretty. Just simple. You don't have to do anything fancy when making a journaling card. I love these. I don't know. These must be, she took from a magazine and did a little fussy cut. That's cut out. All these little art supplies are cut out. These are really cute. And then this is a, I don't know what you call these. I've made these little pockets before. It's just a certain way you fold your paper. Okay, that's on there. And these are just fun little, you get a lot of different little pockets here. And she's got some nice little journaling cards in here for her to use. And then she created this page here. Never lose your sense of wonder. That's true. She has a nice vintage, little bit of a cut up doily here. This looks like some cheesecloth behind here. She stitched, which is a nice idea because then it won't keep fraying or raveling around the photo. This looks like she stamped, and then she's famous for stamping and coloring in her work. This is very cute. And I like this because it kind of goes with the little hidden tag pocket that I had created for her. I had a little bow here for her, but I think she thought it was too bulky. I'll have to put a little something here to cover that up. Maybe I can put a little bird or something. And then she added these cute little envelopes here with some journaling cards, which are just adorable. These are nice cards. So that's a nice little feature. I guess it goes this way. Yeah, that way. And then my back page. So I thought today I would get started on this page here. Like I said, I have a lot of ephemera. Let me put this over here. I've pulled out, and a lot of this is from In the Ink. This here I want to do some paper weaving, so we're going to start with that. But I have these birds. I have this journaling card, which I thought would go really pretty with this page here. So I'd like to incorporate this somehow. I do want to incorporate some more butterflies because there's butterflies on here. And I want to put a nice pocket. I want to make a nice pocket on this side here, so this will tuck down in. I'm not using these. I want to weave with these. And I'm not sure exactly where I'm going with this page yet, but I'd really like to use some of these birds that I have because I just think these would be awfully pretty. The colors to go here and there. You know, I've got a lot of butterflies I can use, and I'd like to put a nice saying up here. So I don't know, I guess I'm just going to have to see where this takes me. But I thought first today I would do a little bit of paper weaving. And I did it in my other book with the Queen, with Queen Elizabeth, to commemorate her life and her passing. And I just thought I would try, I want to weave with this one strip here. Now I'm not going to add any color. Maybe a little different brown. I don't know. I'm going to have to look to see what I have in my scrap pile. If I don't like the way this looks, where it looks just like a regular pattern, I will add some color to it, but I want to get started to show, let me take this down with some washi, to show how you start a weaving project. I'm just looking for some washi that I don't really like that I can hold this down with. I do like this, but and if you've never done paper weaving before, it's not that hard. You want to get a good X-Acto knife. And I'm using my ruler with the millimeters on it. And I want to get this lined up with this as best I can. It doesn't have to be perfect, but in order to make your if you want a thick weave, a wide weave, you're going to make your you're going to make your little lines, how do I describe, wider. If you want a tight weave, you're going to come in and make things a little bit smaller. So let me get this down here so you can actually see. So I'm lining this up because I want it to be straight across. So I'm also using these lines here as a guide. And I'm just going to start this at 8. Just going to pick a number. I'm going to get this lined up. So over just a tad. And I'm just going to start marking. And I want just an average. I don't need it. Of course, there's the phone. Oh, it's my neighbor. Okay, all right. So now that I have that marked, I'm going to draw. I'm not going to draw my lines, but I'm going to hold this here. Let's get this set again. Let me come up a little bit. Okay. I'm going to hold this as best I can with these dots here to here. And you're not going to go all the way because this is going to be your, where you're going to actually put your strips and weave them through. And then when it comes time to weaving, you're just going to flip this over because this will become the back side, because you don't want these dots on the front. Okay, all right, so that is done. And here you have all of your, and make sure you press firm enough with your X-Acto knife, and then just gently come and pull them apart here. And you can always take your X-Acto knife and go back over. I try not to do that because I don't want to make another line that maybe another line with my X-Acto knife and mess it up. So I just do the best that I can here. Now, if you don't want to use this side because you have that little bit there, which I won't, I'll continue to use this side here. Just put your paper back down and make sure you have I'm going to have to get a good eraser after. Get a good eraser, and then you can just gently erase these here. So the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to cut your paper that you're going to use, that you're going to do the weaving in. So I'm going to go over to my scrap pile, and I'm going to pull out some light tans, just some variety, and I'm going to grab them to cut, so in case I have to add something else for a little bit more texture. So I have my variety, no, I'm not using this side, my variety of, just a little bit darker here. So now I'm going to cut my strips for the weaving, and I will start this. Now, what I'm going to do to get my, the width that I want I have a guard on here, so I'm going to clip from this guard over to this white. And then that way I can keep all of my strips in a uniform size. So they will all come out this width here. And it's pretty much the same width that I cut, what is it, a 1/2 millimeter or something like that, that I had cut over on the just wanna over with my X-Acto knife. And when it starts to get, your paper starts to shrink and get a little bit smaller, you just have to be careful that you really hold it in position when you're lining it up. Because as you can see, I can't do anything from the left side, but I like to use this as a guide. And if they're a little bit off, that's no big deal. Well, sounds like my pool people are here to close my pool. So I'm going to finish cutting this, and then I will come back to y'all and we will start the weaving process. So let me go take care of that. So I have my strips cut. They're all over here to the right, and I've already started some of the weaving. What I like to do is I like to leave the bottom part attached to my, whatever you have it attached to, your messy mat or your hard mat like I have, my invisible Creative Memories mat here. And then I like to be able to raise it up, because then you can see it's a little bit easier to weave instead of leaving it flat and trying to go through. It's a little more manageable. So with the two colors, you can make any type of pattern or design that you want. And I am happy that I did take some darker strips, and I think it'll make a pretty pattern. So I started out with 2 plain here, and that would be lovely just as it is. If I went all the way down, it would just add nice texture. And then I added a darker, a lighter, 2 darker. I'm going to add 3 dark ones. And again, you're going to want to choose which side you want it to go through. If you want to show more white, or if you want something that doesn't have a lot of, see, this is even a little different. So you can choose however you want to, what pattern. So I'm going to come down. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I am going to do one more just to show you the, the over-under pattern. And so because, again, it's just common sense. If you start under here, you're going to want to start over here. And again, by picking it up, you can weave it through much easier. And you're just going to slide it up wherever and you're always going to want to bring your other strips up, and because you're going to want a nice tight weave. All right. So I'm going to leave this like that. And then, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a plain one again, but I'm going to do, I have to come under. I'm going to take 2 at a time. So here you see I'm taking 2, going over these 2. I'll go under these 2, go over 2, and then come under these 2. And this is going to make a little bit different pattern. So let me get another one in here and you'll see. And I'm going to use the same plain. So now we have to go right here. We have to go over this 1 and under these 2. Over 1, under 2, over 1, whoops, oh, come on, over, you just have to take your time, because as you work on, it can get a little crazy. Okay, so now we have that one. So you can see the different pattern here. See how it's a little bit wider here, and these are going to be a little bit longer. And I just want, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And these pretty much measure out here, so I can just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to work at this pattern all the way down here with the plain. So over 2, under 2, over 2, under 2. And this can be a very relaxing activity. If you just want to come in your craft room and put some nice music on, have a cup of tea or coffee, whatever you like having. And I'm going to need more of this paper. But if you don't have enough of this paper, the paper you start out with, you can bring your strips back just a little bit, and you could cut these and weave these through, which I'd have to check to see. This, I believe, is linen writing paper that I used in another craft, so I know I have more of this. So I'm going to do this one. Then I'm going to cut a few more of these strips. I'm going to continue on with the 2-2 pattern until I get down to where my 6. We'll do the last 3 together, and then I will show you how to finish this off. All right? Okay, so I'll see you in a little bit. So when you're threading your weaving, you're threading your pieces together and you get down towards the end. So I have 3 more that I have to put down here, and I'm not sure if all 3 will fit. I want you to go back, find a little tool. This is my Cricut for weeding. And you go back and you gently, see, there's quite a bit of space that you can move these up with, okay? And you just carefully push everything up. When you're working with photos and you're doing photo weaving, it's obviously, if you know it's photo paper, it's a little bit thicker. When you're using just a stationery or cardstock style, you kind of have to be careful. See there, I just made a little indentation in it. You just have to be gentle pushing them up, but you want to get this as tight as you can. And that will help with the threading of, I keep saying threading, the weaving of your last bit of paper. It does get tight when you get down towards the bottom. So that's another thing that you have to be conscious of. So we have that moved up as much as we can. So again, I'm going with the pattern. This is the larger weave here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 here. And then what we're going to do, now we need a plain one. And I didn't cut anymore. What I've been doing is just taking from here, because I didn't want to cut anymore. And again, you have to, this I'm just going to lift up off of here. And we're back to the every other, all right? So it's over and under 1 at a time. And like I said, when you get to the bottom, you just have to be a little more patient. Make sure that you get it right. I see I missed that one. And you want to, I would really like to try to fit 2 more up here. And I think I can, just to make it even. And if you can't, you can't. I'm just somewhat of a perfectionist, and I like a good challenge, I guess. This one I'm taking because it seems a little bit longer. And we'll see if I can add a bottom. I may not have to, because if I make a pocket on the bottom, the bottom part will be hidden. But also, the tighter you make your weave, it's not going to, there's no wiggle room, okay? And I think I will be able to fit 1 more in the bottom here. We just have to make sure this is up. And so let me see. We're going to give it the old college try, right? And I will take this one here. And I think this will work out just fine. If I thread it properly, right? And you just might need, don't want to do it that way. This is where patience prevails, right? There we go. So you just kind of have to I'm surprised I'm even doing this now. I'm very frustrated. Pool people came to put the new cover on. And it didn't fit. It's an elephant cover, or one of those trampoline covers. I call them elephant covers because they used to have ads where the elephant would be standing on top of the pool cover. And it was either measured wrong, but my pool guy is telling me that it wasn't. He's saying that the company shorted one side, and it's going to have to go back in the spring to be fixed. He did tell me the rep is a real jerk. He didn't say those names. He was a little more colorful. And I told him I understand. And then he proceeded to tell me, because I have a tear in my liner and it's only gotten bigger, that I need a new pool cover. Or, excuse me, I need a new pool liner. And that didn't make me happy, because I told him I wasn't putting any more money into the ground. And he gave me the price on that. And I'm very distraught as to what that would cost me between the liner, the fee I would have to pay him to measure for the new liner, and then the water tank to come up, fill my pool again. So now I have a call into my local construction company who rebuilt my wall for me that collapsed. So Patrick is coming up, and he's going to give me a firm price on what it would cost for me to drain my pool and fill it in with crushed stone. And then my husband can bring stone home from the quarry, and we can make an even bigger patio out there, because I've had it. I'm not putting any more money into that swimming pool. I've had it. So that's been my day. Sounds wonderful, doesn't it? So here we go. This is done. It is, the weaving is complete on it. And I'm going to show you what you do with the back side of it to hold everything in place. And then what I will do is I'm going to stitch around this, possibly, but then we're going to see how it looks on Liz's page. So we are going to flip this over, and you tape it. Now, I'm not going to use Scotch tape. I'm going to use some washi tape, and I'm not going to put it on the very ends, because I'm going to be running a stitch along there. What I will do is, you want to make sure everything is held together the way you want it here. I'll trim some of this off after. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little dab of glue. And I'm using washi tape. If you used regular Scotch tape, you wouldn't be able to do this. But I'm using washi tape just to make sure that my sides are all tucked in really well. and there aren't any spaces. Tuck that in like that. Okay. So I'm happy with the way that has come out. And then what I'm going to do, just making sure that this is all right. What I'm going to do is the next thing I do is just trim the edges off here. Okay. And just go slow. If you have a large piece that you're working on, you can actually, I mean, sometimes it's kind of cool to leave these hanging, because that's just kind of a cool look. You can stitch, if you want to stitch these down, you can stitch them before you trim them. I'm trimming them, obviously, before I stitch. So here is my weave, and I'm going to stitch this on my machine, and I have some really pretty rust thread on here. I want to do a nice colorful border around this, and then I will show you what that looks like. All right, so I did my stitching, and as you can see, I just did a straight stitch around. And like I said, I wanted to use this really pretty little rust colored thread, which will add to Liz's page next door. So I think that goes. I just like all of the cream colors. I did, you know, everything coordinates. So my idea is this. I found some of this old sewing pattern, center front lay on fold. This is very old because they don't make them. This is number 2. They don't make them like this anymore. But I want to make a pocket. So I'm going to set her book aside. Well, let me measure. I just want to make sure. I'm continuing with the beiges and browns and creams. I kind of want to keep this as muted as possible with a little bit of color, because I don't want to take anything away from Liz's work over here. So this pocket is a good size. So I'm going to start with this. And I did pull, I've got a big stash over here of little minis and bits that I already pulled. So I'm going to decorate this pocket. And I want to leave just a little tiny border. Just to show a little bit of that around the edges. So I think that's good. All right, let's see here. I love how I put my pin in here and it still clogs. I have a love-hate relationship with this little tip on the art glitter glue. It's gunky. Oh, it's gunky. Okay. All right, and And then I thought I would take little pieces of this pattern. I don't want to cover the whole thing. And I like it with the holes. With the holes in it. And I guess maybe I'll use a glue stick for this here. I'll use my glue stick. And this blue does dry clear. That'd be awful if it didn't. Okay. Then I have add a little bit of this and a little bit of that. I'm going to cut this back a little bit. I don't want these such sharp corners. And I think I might do this. Got these little tickets here, and then I thought I would add the little butterfly. I just like to add a little bit of a round circle just to kind of take away the having it so linear and square and boxy. All right, so there's our pocket. That's going to be our pocket. So let's get Liz's book back here. And I want to tuck this right over here on this side, just to add a little bit of texture. I'm going to put this down. I think I'm going to put this down with double-sided tape because of the washi tape that's on there. And then I think that will work best. Oh, gosh. Let's move this out. My desk is a mess. It's just, everything is everywhere. But that's okay. Now, if you know you're going to put this down straight away, you can, instead of using washi tape or something on the back, you could just use your double-sided tape. And then you could save a little bit on your washi tape, but let's get this up here. Just make sure this lines up. That's good. And I think I'm going to do the same with this pocket. I guess maybe I'll glue it down. I think I'll glue it down. I think we'll be fine. Because then if she puts, when I put my tags and tickets, you know, the journaling cards with the little, I don't want anything to stick to the tape. Sometimes that happens. And I think while I'm working on the other stuff, I'm just going to put these little clamps here just so this, just so it sticks down, because it's a little rough and bumpy. And one more. All right, this side I'm just going to keep. All right, so we're going to set this aside for a minute. And this is the journaling card that I'm going to put in there. I don't think I'm going to add anything to this. I'm just going to slip this in, and Liz can, she can journal on this card. If she wants to add a little something to the front, or a date or a special saying, she can do that. Got to leave her a little bit of stuff to play with, right, when she gets it back. So this is an envelope. This is a fun envelope I've been hoarding. And I decided to pass it on to Liz because it's one of my favorite envelopes. I haven't used it yet. Like I said, I've been hoarding it. So what I did here, it did have a little, had a little fold flap for it. So all I did was I put a grommet in here, and then I added some extra fiber from a belly band I made, and all I did was just I knotted it in the middle, and then I took the two ends and I threaded it through, and I like the look of that. It just adds a little something. Then I have these little embellishments here that I'm going to add to it, and again, I just want to keep it a little monotone. Well, I don't know if monotone is the word, but neutral. And we have to add our little bird, and I have a butterfly that he's looking at. So we're going to add this. I just want to make sure that I have this lined up with our little friend here. And I'm just going to cut this out a little bit more. There, he's cute. Gotta have my little birds. Okay, so he's there, and he's looking at this sweet little butterfly. So we're going to put, yeah, we're going to put him right here. There, put him there. And now she has a cute little pocket. Make sure this is glued down well for her. So when she can journal on the back of this card, and she can also stick something special. I know her and her husband they go out and have brunch a lot, and they go to all these special little places. So she could actually put a little memento inside this little cute little envelope here. So we're going to move this back over. And I think this is dry now. That'll be here. So we're going to put this down in here like so. And then we're going to add this little, I'm going to add this first. There. And then we're going to, I think I'll bring that up just a little bit. So now hold on. Why is this? I don't know why that is sticking. Oh, I know why. This might be catching. Let me see if that's catching. Is that catching on the, oh, it's catching on the end of the, so you know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to add a cute little piece of washi tape here. Just so it doesn't, well, I don't know if it would. I'm just going to leave that like that. I'm not going to tuck it down in too far. All right, we'll leave it like that. And then we're going to add our little pocket, our little journal in our pocket, little journaling card. Then I'm going to have, I found another pretty little butterfly because they are flitting around on her other page. And I'm going to put the little butterfly right up here in the corner. And I'm not going to glue it down entirely. I'm going to leave a little, just a little bit of its wings right here. So we can just fold them, curl them up just a little bit. So it looks like it's ready to fly off the page. So that is for Liz. That is page 1 of 10 that I'll be doing in her book. And I think it looks really pretty across. It all coordinates, the colors, and I think she'll like that. I think it came out really cute, natural. It all coordinates. So yeah, that's it. So if you liked this video, I'd love to have you give me a thumbs up. I'd love to hear your comments on it. Thank you again for watching. I appreciate you all out there, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.